What's up, Internet? Cool. So my name is Griffin Jaworski, coach over here at uh, Sweat Equity Athletics, Forging Iron Triathlon team. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a vlog, I guess, is what they call these things. I have 30 days from now until Ironman Louisville, and just trying to pick my own brain, I guess, on why I'm insane and doing 2 Ironmans in the span of 5 weeks. So just a little bit of recap. Did Ironman Wisconsin last weekend, and it went pretty well for the most part. Swim was good, a little choppy, pretty rough water, swallowed a lot of it, kind of gross. Bike was awesome, sub 5.5 hour bike split, which is a little over 20 miles an hour, a lot better than I expected. A couple minutes better than I expected at least. And then 7 miles into the run, legs felt awesome, really nailed the plan, but then kind of took a turn. When I actually took a turn on the course, there's a nice U-turn around 7.5, 8 miles, and my stomach just dropped. So that was fun. And from there, we'll call the run the Great Porta Potty Shuffle, the Ironman Wisconsin Porta Potty Shuffle. So that's about how the rest of that race went. Legs felt good the whole way, but just couldn't run more than 10 steps without needing a bathroom. And from there on, my mindset was just kind of getting through the race, toughing it out, gritting it out. And now that leads us to Ironman Louisville 5 weeks from now. Contrary to what you might think, I actually signed up for Louisville prior to not failing at Wisconsin, but prior to doing not quite the way that I wanted to. So this is just kind of an experiment to see how you bridge the gap from one Ironman to another in a month and a half, or a little under a month and a half. And really, the plan is just to try to bridge that gap. So recovery has looked a lot like ice baths, a lot like Epsom salt, but also just letting my mind and body dictate what it needs, which has just been some nice swims, some nice shakeout bikes, eating kind of whatever you want. You're so disciplined leading up to an Ironman race that it's really hard to stay that disciplined all the time. So just kind of letting yourself crave certain things, eating a lot of Sour Patch Kids, some nice, what is that called? Captain Crunch. I've had like a whole box of peanut butter Captain Crunch. But for the most part, still eating fairly healthy. It's amazing that you think that your body's going to crave all these other things, but really my body is kind of craved like chicken noodle soup, just things to keep me healthy. That when you get to that point in your training, if you're not overtraining and you're approaching it with the right mindset, really it just becomes a lifestyle and things that you want to do all the time, whether you're training at a high level or not. So yeah, just kind of taking it day by day. Recovery so far has been 40 minute bikes, 40 minute swims, no real intensity yet. Planning on doing kind of like a reverse taper. So really when you taper, it kind of goes run, taper 3 weeks out, bike taper 2 weeks out, swim taper 5 to 6 days out. You don't really need much more than that because those last 2 are non-impact. So you don't really need to take that much of a load off of it because there's not any impact. It's not as stressful on your body. Running is pretty stressful, so I won't add that back in for at least 2 weeks. Started swimming right away. Probably going to start adding back in intensity, just kind of the opposite of taper. So 5-6 days out, which is tomorrow for the most part, going to add that taper back in, and then, or that training back in, some intensity swim. In the swim, the bike will probably wait about 10 to 12 days out, do kind of a longer ride, still lower intensity, but the goal is to maintain some semblance of fitness while letting your body recover, which is a little bit of a juxtaposition, but we'll see how it goes. There is some precedence in this arena for pros doing something like Kona and then coming back a few weeks later to capitalize on their fitness that they have, and then taking it into another Ironman race to requalify for Kona the following year. Pros or elite age groupers. So we'll see if I can do that, but that's the plan. I don't really have anything else to say. Hopefully this is the first one of these. Hopefully we get some traction, people asking questions on what that whole process looks like. But other than that, I mean, that's about it. So, anyone got any questions out there? Not so much. Internet is quiet. 12 o'clock on a Friday. Cool. Well, if that's all there is, these are just going to be 5-10 minutes of me rambling every day from now until Louisville. Like I said, I have 30 days to try to figure it out and get back in shape. I mean, the fitness will most likely stay there, especially if you're still biking, you're still swimming. Kind of the biggest question that I've gotten from a lot of people is motivation. Motivation is a really tricky thing. A lot of people get not even to the race and after the race where they lost motivation, but way before the race ends, before they're even starting their taper, kind of in the heavy training, their motivation is gone and they just want the race to be done with. That's a big part of my whole coaching philosophy is not letting that happen, is keeping that enjoyment piece inside of training, because otherwise, like, you're just investing so much time, so much energy into this sport. I mean, not even time and energy, but financial resources as well into this sport that if you don't enjoy it, then what's it all for? Like, who cares if you're at the top of the podium if it's not adding value to your life? So making sure that you're doing things that, I mean, even if your coach schedules something and you just dread doing it, like if you have too many of those days where you're dreading doing something in a row, and then you might as well just back it off, do something else, take your mountain bike out, or do something that's similar to training, but takes the stress, the pressure off of yourself, so where you can enjoy it again. Because in the end, like that's all that matters, is being able to do this sport that theoretically you love. And it's not just a way to become a machine, to become someone that can swim, bike, and run really fast, but gets no joy out of it. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get a few more people on here asking questions, and see you then.